久しぶりだな、新日本の皆様。なんでここにいると思う？ AEW 旗揚げした後にもう新日本の出なくていいと思った。次が必要だったよね。そしてその次は誰だった？もちろんそれは素晴らしい何でもできるウィル・オスプレイだ。どうなりましたか？ほら見てください。お客さん少なくなったし応援全然聞こえない。もちろんそれはパンデミックのせいですよってよく言われるんだけど、それは本当ですか？本当のパンデミックはお前だと思う。ウィル、お前と他のぐるぐるトランスレートの外人選手、みんなはただケニー・オメガのモノマネしようとしてる。だから驚くことに新日本から電話かかってきた。正直と言うとあんまり興味ないです。でももう一回ファンのためにプロレスのためにウィル・オスプレイとケニー・オメガの違いを見せます。 I will save your promotion. I will once again change the world. I haven't forgotten what you've done and I'm coming for you. Wrestle Kingdom, well, I'll be there. Until then, I must bid you adieu. Goodbye. Mwah. And good night. Bang!
Hi everyone and welcome to another episode of Trip Around the Multiverse with your host, the king of pro wrestling promotable... The king of pro wrestling preliminary champion Kyle Charles and
the man who sold a botch stun gun stun, CY Chung.
that was the worst. And this episode we're going to be talking about this year's Wrestle Kingdom 17 by New Japan Pro Wrestling.
So let me ask, did you watch the pre-show?
Yeah, I did.
I was going to say, because this was like the whole event was about 6 hours long. I know there's intermission and whatnot, and pre-card before the main card, right? Yeah. I skipped the first match, and I skipped the first match and the Rambo, the New Japan Rambo.
I love the Rambo. It was amazing.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll let you go through that, but I started on the Antonio Inoki thingamajig match.
Yeah. Tribute
memorial match. Yeah. But yeah, accidentally, because then I was like, when that finished, I was like, I thought I was on the main card for some reason, and then
why it wasn't. It doesn't make no sense, but
yeah, because this is kind of they did this show in tribute of Antonio Inoki, which then kind of foreshadowed what results we get at a certain point.
Yeah, it's kind of stupid.
Yeah. I mean, maybe two matches were like, all right, well, we know who's gonna win.
Yeah.
No, but you'd be like, all right, well, let's go along for the ride here.
Yeah.
All right, so first match you could tell me about Oleg Bolton versus Ryohei Oiwa.
Yeah. It was a match, literally. It was like an Olympic wrestling match. They spent like 2 minutes feeling each other out, and then when they went to tie up and went for a pin, it finished. I was like, oh, okay, that's
all right.
Worth 3 minutes? Yeah, cool. All right. Yeah, that
all right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
What about the New Japan Rambo?
It was, as always, hilarious because this time the winners, like last year, the four people at the end will have a match to determine the provisional King of Pro Wrestling Championship, and there was lots of hijinks going on. It's funny, Evil was in it, and he was the first person eliminated from the Rumble, and I was like, wow, the mighty have fallen. Huh.
Well, here's the thing. I read Kenta's in it as well, and I'm like, what? Oh, that's okay, on. Are you gonna? Do you recommend me go back and watch this match?
Yeah, it's fun.
All right,
it's
I'll
fun.
do that.
It's fun.
All right. You're saying that don't expect too much, but you'll have entertainment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hijinks and funny, silly stuff.
Yeah. Hijinks
Yeah.
to see all
Okay.
the time. Yeah.
Fair enough. All right. The third match on the card, Tagobi Makabe, Shashiso Kojima, and Yuji Nagata versus Tatsumi Fujimi.
Yep.
Was that Fujinami? Sorry, yeah.
Fujinami.
Minoru Suzuki and Tiger Mask.
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched it.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't bad. It wasn't
until the very end, where I don't know what happened.
The end was funny.
It's like someone's trying to roll up someone else, but they kind of just didn't roll through, and then you just had to,
He just laid on him and got the pin. And like,
okay.
Right.
I don't know what happened here.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think you'll do.
But the rest of it was actually decent enough for the people in it because they,
Yeah, they're all old, like grizzled vets. Yeah,
exactly. So I didn't actually think it started off that bad, but most of these guys, I would say, are in their 40s, if not over.
No,
the murder grandpa's like 50.
I'm pretty sure all of them are in their 50s.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, it was decent until, and it would have been fine until whatever pin they was trying to do just didn't do.
Yeah.
Right.
I thought everyone except for Tatsumi Fujinami was okay.
Yeah.
Because obviously you got Minoru Suzuki, who's still like amazing at his age. Even like Kojima and Nagata, they're still great for their age. And Tiger Mask.
So this match, if I remember, I think they knew what they could and couldn't do and worked kind of towards that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? Don't expect too much, but then again, if it was a car crash, it would have been entertaining as well. But it wasn't that either.
No. But I'm just still confused why this was on the pre-show rather than the main card, as it's a tribute to the creator of New Japan Wrestling. But okay, sure, whatever.
Yeah. Right.
Whatever.
Main card. IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championship. Leo and Leo Rush, who are the challengers, versus
Leo, they're called. Yep.
Yeah.
Name.
Catch 22, which is Francisco Akira, who is not Japanese
whatsoever. No,
and TJP. But let me just so if he was Italian Japanese, all right. But I'm just like I'm not sure about Akira as a certain. Not to say, I mean, you assume, but it's just like okay, it just you have a very distinctly international first name, and a surname that's very Asian.
Yeah, it's a bit.
If you're gonna say you got adopted by a Japanese, the backstory you can work for this guy.
Yeah.
Right. But even if he was half Italian, half French or half Italian or something like that, but he looked full white to me. It was like another Kyo Kasagi thing going on here.
It's like, whitewash it.
I mean, I don't know his history. He could actually be partially Eurasian somewhere, but
we'll try to find out at some point. Yeah.
But no, I thought this match was as a light heavyweight title match. You know what? It wasn't bad. Listen, they had decent stakes and drama there. Leo Rush got busted open, and then
2 minutes in the match. Yeah.
yeah. Which I'm like, all right, okay, that's kind of I
was like, and it was disgusting. Like, because at first I thought he was overselling. Then you see, I'm like, oh no, he is legit hurt.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
it's bad.
It was like one of these things where you're like, okay, I mean, later on there's a match where someone bleeds, right? And it adds drama to the match. But here it's just like, you're like, rather than be like, not to say, I wanted that match to end quickly because get to do some help. But you're like, I'm watching them I'm being like, let them be.
Yeah, it's like, dude, just carry on, please. But
it was a nice title match. So it was I thought all the guys did decently well. TJP looking a bit, I don't know, kind of weathered now, because he's been. I don't want to say he's been around the block, but when you look back to the Cruiserweight Classic and you're like, yeah, that's a youngish looking TJP, and then you look at him now and he's like 6 years later, and I think he's not even 40 or something like that, and he's seeming like, yeah, he's been through some stuff right there, because boy is he looking. I think they're saying he's been wrestling since he was 13, so fair enough. But he's not as young looking. But actually, when he came out, I didn't recognize him. Obviously, when they introduced him, fair enough, yeah. But it's like, if they didn't have the title on it, I would have thought that was someone else.
Yeah, because he looks well different now, isn't it?
Yeah. Haircut and I think he has more tattoos and stuff like that.
Yeah, he's going through his weird grunge emo phase. Yeah, at 39 years old, I think he is.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no. Would you say worth a watch? I say the guys work hard, but there's the thing is with this card. Later on, there's matches where you're like, you shouldn't miss, right? But then that makes everything else before it seem a bit less in comparison, if you know what I mean. It's like they pushed up the scale, so you kind of, when you look back at everything else, you're thinking they're in a lower tier, but they're kind of not really.
Yeah.
They just, I don't
know. It could have been. I think if Leo Rush didn't get like injured so early in the match, I think it would have been a bit more. I don't want to say high fly, but more.
Yeah.
Hype up the crowd match.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But he got half his face split open like 2 minutes in. And then
exactly.
Sold it outside. Not sold it, but like was in pain outside for like 5 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. IWGP Women's Championship. Oh, by the way, yeah. So winners for let's see, Yo and what's his name? Yo and Leo Rush. They won the titles there.
They didn't.
Did they? Sorry.
No.
Sorry. No. I'm the champions one. Yeah.
Catch 22. Because I think even commentary said like this belt is the only belt that has like the lowest percentage title change at Wrestle Kingdom. I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. Oh.
Yeah, I would have given wrong information accidentally there, by the way.
Yeah.
All right. IWGP Women's Title match. Tam Nakano versus Kairi. Yep. No longer Kairi Sane, but with capital letters.
Yeah. Kairi.
Yeah. Who's the champion at the time?
Yeah.
You know what? I okay. The only thing I mind about this match is that it was short. The pace that they went at the beginning, I was like, oh yeah, they're gonna have a good like 10-15 minutes or whatever they're gonna have, right? It was 5 minutes. I was like, huh?
Yeah. The entrances was longer than this match.
Yeah. Not to say it wasn't actually a bad match.
No, it was a good match.
As they only had 5 minutes, I would have thought they went in there full pelt and just not have a match that's smash and grab style, right?
Yeah.
boom, not get everything in there with no psychology, but like move at a much faster pace.
Yeah.
That's why I thought, when it finished, I was like, huh? They weren't going at that rate, so I just assumed that it was going to be longer.
Yeah. Same, but like, oh, okay, that's again, I like this match. Like, it was a Steiner driver in it, so this match is.
Steiner screwdriver. I was like, oof. But what actually was fun about this match? It's like it's a good showcase match.
Yeah.
Except that they just didn't give it the time. It's like it gives you a teaser of what the women can do, right?
Yeah.
From Stardom and stuff.
Yeah.
But it just didn't give. It's just like I don't know how much appetite it whets.
It's like, okay, it's a showcase, but what did we actually showcase?
Yeah, exactly. Except for, but what they did showcase was the guest appearance of money. Not Shane McMahon. Yeah.
Money. Again, her entrance.
Yeah.
Was longer than the whole match.
Yeah. I don't know about the Predator infrared hair that she's got going on.
I loved it. Because I heard someone like kind of explain it. I was like, oh, that's awesome. Like basically, it's her new persona burning through her old persona. I was like, oh,
okay, all right,
that's awesome. Right. That makes sense. Yeah.
Is that headcanon or actual logic?
It could be both. I don't know. Either way, That adds to it, in my opinion. Like, oh, okay,
I was just distracted. I was like waiting for the Predator music to start somewhere.
Dun, 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 dun. But yeah, it was just.
So how do you pronounce it? And I'll tell you how I pronounce it, and then we'll go through how it's supposed to be pronounced.
Okay.
So, yeah, Sasha Banks' new name?
Yeah.
How do you pronounce it?
Mercedes Moné.
Right. And I that's what I thought because of the accent on the E.
Yeah.
I think it's Monet, not Monet, money, like money, you know.
Yeah.
And that's what the thing in her music is as well. I'm like, all right, but that means the accent is probably on the wrong letter. Would it be on top of the N in that case? So you nay. In either case, right?
Yeah.
What do you think of her new name?
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, I think it makes sense.
Makes sense.
Considering her name is like her first name is actually Mercedes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It might take a while to get used to because you're used to Sasha Banks, but it actually still works with
her character and everything.
Yeah, exactly.
The only thing I found funny is that she's the CEO. I'm like, this is hilarious. I just find that funny. It's like, oh, boss CEO. It's all the same, really, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Even though she's coming out, then Boss Knuckles still on her. Yeah. And the other thing I found was funny is she came in there. She looked up Kyrie. Kyrie all like kind of tired from the 5-minute match that she had because still I'm not cussing her. I'm saying you do get exhausted even when a match. It's just because these guys are professionals and they have the good cardio, right?
Yeah.
But I say Kyrie's exhausted from the match because when Sasha Banks tried to do a maneuver on her, and it was kind of like all right. So she got in her, flipped over like on her back, right, and then tried to spin her around for the DDT.
Yeah.
And I think she didn't move. Like, I don't know if there was someone moved faster than someone else for sure, right?
Yeah.
It looked a bit weird.
Yep. Super weird.
Yeah. But then they kind of just continued, right?
Yeah.
But I was like, if they nailed that, that would have been great.
Yeah.
But what you kind of remember now is Sasha Banks had an entrance, and the what was supposed to be something memorable, not even a memorable tag. If nothing happened, you wouldn't have remembered it. If it went well, you'd have been like, "Oh, cool, great, great
debut." Yeah.
But because it did go well, you're like, "All right, yeah."
Head scratching.
They botched up somewhere, but I don't know what happened.
It's one of those things. Yeah, it's who botched it.
Yeah.
And then because she still kind of had to sell it.
Yeah.
I was like, this is all good.
You know what she could have done though. I'm not saying obviously in the situation you don't know what you don't think of that quickly.
Yeah.
But if she then just kind of rolled it into the bank statement.
Yeah.
And then let go.
Yeah.
You'd have been like, all right, fair enough. They met up that move, but she went into something else.
Yeah. It's just funny.
Yeah. Which, funny enough, is in a later match where they do mess up something. They kind of mess up some things in a late match, but it adds to the drama of the match as well.
Yeah.
So we'll get to that. Okay. So, by the way, are you intrigued to see Monet versus Kyrie?
Yeah, even though someone pointed this out to me, I was like, that's hilarious. So we're basically seeing two people who wrestle in WWE wrestle in New Japan.
Yeah. But do you reckon that Mercedes Moné is going to be a Stardom regular?
No.
Or is it she just going to be for New Japan?
No. This is what I personally believe is going to happen.
Yeah.
She's going to do her New Japan contracted dates, or whatever she's got to do, and then she's going back to WWE.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Hence why, on the back of her jacket, in Kana, it actually said boss.
Okay.
So I'm thinking, yep, she's smart, because then she's done that, because she knows she's going back to WWE. She can wear that in WWE and not buy a new costume. Yep.
All right. So you're saying, oh no, I was going to say you guest appearance at the Rumble, but probably not, right?
Nah. I reckon she'll either be back by WrestleMania or SummerSlam.
Yeah. Unless she does a Carl Anderson, right?
Yeah. Carl Anderson. Yeah.
All right. So, tag team title match.
Yep.
Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi versus FTR.
Yeah.
Who are FTR being the champs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For about 6 months at this point. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was a decent match.
Yeah, it was a good decent match.
Yeah. I thought it didn't get to the level of more recent FTR matches. But if their story they're telling is that they've started going on a downward spiral because they're losing all the titles, fair enough.
Yeah.
And to be fair as well, if you've got like several tag team titles that you're defending around the world, you are going to be at some point
battered than
not at your most elite level.
Yeah.
Like, but this was shorter than I was expecting as well.
Same. But you know what? If this match, because I've every Wrestle Kingdom I've watched since I think Wrestle Kingdom's 9. Is it 9? Well, anyway, yeah. The tag team titles always change hands. I was like, this was a given before the match even started. That was.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think the logic of FDR going on their downward spiral also not necessarily gave it away, but it's just like if they played into this is their last title they've got and they're gonna do anything they want, anything they can to keep it.
Yeah.
You know, then you're like maybe, but they didn't. They weren't like being not necessarily heels and cheaters or anything like that, but they went to that desperate level to keep it. They didn't start being, degenerates even.
Yeah. But I think that's like something that you wouldn't really see in New Japan anyway, because how New Japan is. You don't really see
it's true.
Booking.
But yeah, because it was more than decent, but it just kind of didn't jump up the couple of levels that FTR have been known for.
Yeah.
And I want to say I'm not saying it's in Japan they don't care or whatever. It's just like I think they've overworked themselves a bit too much.
Yeah.
And isn't one of the guys injured?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's still we're wrestling through that, so it's like really you probably need to take your break afterwards.
Yeah, and apparently as well, one of them it took him like longer than it should have got to get to Japan because like flight cancellations and all this stuff. It was really awkward for him to get there, so I think he literally got there that day.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So disappointing, but not because of the ring work. Just because you know what I mean, not yeah. That's as far as my opinion goes.
Like my opinion, like is, it's gonna sound really bad.
Yeah.
Goto and Yoshihashi.
Yeah.
Or Bashimon, or whatever they're called. It's gonna sound really bad. They're for me a team of losers.
Well, okay. They aren't at the level FTR. I'll give them that much. Yeah, and that's why it's like partially a bit odd that you think, okay, these guys are the ones to. I'd say Goto's fine.
Yeah, Goto's fine. It's
Yoshihashi doesn't. Yeah,
it's like a perpetual like lower card guy.
Yeah,
who somehow is pushed up to like.
Yeah,
A level for not bad but for no reason. What's he actually?
Yeah. I don't think they haven't rebuilt him enough to.
No.
Yeah.
A guy whose gimmick is basically, I'm the Monkey King or Goku.
Yeah. And I'm the man who eats the pin for my faction.
Yeah. And I ran to a ring and buckled and split my head open.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna forget that.
Yeah.
Favorite moments.
Yeah, but I think combined with all of that, you kind of like I mean, like we're not all of the Yoshihashi, but like you're saying, we're saying FTR have been on the back, but wearing themselves out, and then you say the other stuff as well. It's like okay, I think we are edging to who's likely to win this match.
Yeah. Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, so I think combined with all of that, it's just kind of like slightly less than what it could have been.
Yeah.
In our minds.
Like the finish wasn't that bad, but don't know. I'm not a real fan of their finisher either. It's just it's like,
all right.
We're gonna
New Japan World TV Championship tournament final, right?
Yep.
Ren Narita versus Zack Sabre Jr.
Zack Sabre Jr. All right.
Yeah,
this match.
15 minute time limit here.
Yeah.
15 minutes time limit. Yeah.
Yeah. Like all the matches apparently for this belt is going to be 15 minutes long, which I thought.
Yeah. Is it 10 if it's on TV? Or like a house show, or
I don't actually. I think it's just that if I've heard this correctly, I think that belt's only going to be defended on like TV which makes sense. But like, so it's not gonna be like, do they do house shows in New Japan?
I think sometimes I think they may do stuff that they don't broadcast. Well, I mean mostly they don't.
Yeah.
They might do on some locations. I don't know. But what I'm saying is, what I'm saying is the major events is it 15 minutes and then it's 10 minutes on the small events, or are we saying that is? Are you saying that you reckon it's 15 minutes whenever they broadcast something?
I think like G50. I'm not too sure. I could be very wrong.
Okay. I like this match actually, because the guys in the match as well. Like Zack Sabre Jr. basically saying, "All right, Ren Narita, you're gonna fight like Shibata, right? I'm gonna fight you like I'll probably fight Shibata." And then he's like, "You know what? I'll just do some submissions as well." Part with it, like, I think it actually helped Ren Narita not get over necessarily, because but. The problem I think for this guy is he comes up as Shibata Light, and he needs to come. He does a lot of tribute stuff to Shibata, but he's not having the build of Shibata. That's the problem.
No,
looks like not necessarily a watered down version, but definitely kind of a junior version ish.
Yeah,
not to fault his ring skills and stuff like that, because he does. The way he does stuff is like a fight. Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, Zack Sabre Jr. won this, and I was like, "Oh yes, it's cool," because it actually is a flash submission.
Yeah,
because he rolled them into something, right, and they're punting each other and all that stuff, and you're like, just you're like, okay, they're just trying to be like, who's gonna take the most punishment? Who's the biggest badass here?
Yeah.
And I don't think I see Zack Sabre Jr. usually fighting at someone else's game like that.
No.
So it's a good change of pace for him.
Yeah. I'm glad that he's finally like won a single title. Yeah.
Whatever happened to his US title match versus Moxley, right? That the one that he won the number one contender for and just I think he ambushed Moxley and then challenged him and then nothing ever happened.
No.
Yeah. But yeah, it was like it was actually quite a cool match. It was a different match from the other wrestling matches as well because the style was different.
Yeah.
Not because of the constraints of time limits as well, right? But yeah, when the finish, we rolled him from a pin into a submission or something like that, and I was like, and he tapped right away, and I was like, oh, that was very quick. I don't even think I killed the camera angle that they call it on. You see where the roll is, where the feet are. You don't see the tap because you don't even. I was like, oh, okay, fair enough. Flash submission, fine.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, it was just like, huh? That's all.
Okay,
but I like this match.
Yeah, I liked it. I really did. And then
I think Ren Narita's just got to tweak himself a bit to be different from Shibata, unless of course he starts making himself super built. Then then you can be like, oh, Shibata's clone. Fair enough,
But
unless of course he does the Superior Spider-Man where he takes over Shibata's body with his mind.
I don't know if you want to take over Shibata's body after his brain injury.
Okay. Right, fair enough.
But I did like what happened after this match when the Mighty Don't Kneel came out.
Yeah.
And they recruited Zack Sabre Jr., but then Zack Sabre Jr. basically said, I'm the leader. So
so we see where that goes.
He basically re-recruited them if he's the leader. So he's the best man.
All right. Okay, never openweight championship. Tama Tonga versus Carl Anderson, who's the champion.
Yep. Match of the night.
Yeah, I actually thought Carl Anderson came to work. I thought he was. So I assumed he was attacked Tama Tonga before the bell, blah blah blah, and pile drive him on the steps or something like that. On the rampway.
Yeah, gave him
some move on the rampway. Yeah.
A Samoan driver, aka Rikishi driver, aka.
So I thought what was going to happen. He'll beat up Tama Tonga before the match starts, and then when it torn a bit too much, get a bit cocky, and by the time he gets in the ring to start, Tama Tonga will, because they roll Tama Tonga in, do like a lap of heel heat, get in, get hit by a finish, and then they'll both get up, and then he'll get hit by another finish, and that'll be that, right?
Yeah.
But no, man, the man came to do stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a professional.
I actually I quite enjoyed this match until the finish, right?
Same here. I found the finish hilarious, but
But yeah, no, I was like intrigued as to, okay, Carl Anderson's going to win. How is he going to go out? I mean, sorry, going to lose because he's got a WWE. But how is he going to go out? And he went out. He came to work. He's like, you know what? Why doesn't Carl Anderson get anything like the match like this to do in WWE, like a singles match? But hey, but yeah, he made Tama Tonga look good. Tama Tonga get his even though they're both kind of heels, because I think by default, Carl Anderson not being in the company was more of the heel.
Yeah. Plus, he's Bullet Club.
Even though they both are Bullet Club, you know.
Nah, Tama Tonga ain't Bullet Club anymore.
No, what happened?
He got kicked out Bullet Club like this time last year.
Oh jeez, I must have forgotten about that.
Yeah.
But
it happened on Impact, which is really confusing. So yeah.
So gun stuns, and then
yeah,
and then the finish where the gun stun just kind of didn't catch him, but he still sold it. Tama Tonga should have grabbed him, pulled him up, and hit him with another gun stun.
That's what
because
my thing
I did like 3-4 seconds to the match. At that point, I was hoping Carl Anderson would kick out or put his feet on the rope or something, because the way he landed was quite close to the rope. And I was like, you can't, surely not going to. But Carl Anderson just still laid there. I'm like, all right, fair enough.
Yeah, because anything I think of, maybe they run out of time, so they had to end it.
Yeah,
but yeah, you could at least took those extra seconds, because realistically, Carl Anderson, you're not coming back for a while, so they can't tell you off or anything. So
exactly.
Just redo the finish, but
yeah, or you could have picked him up and hit him with something like a clothesline or whatever, right? Something hard to knock him down, like a discus clothesline, whatever. But that's what we remember it for. Even though the rest of the match was pretty good.
Yeah.
I just remember the stun con botch that he didn't get all of it, even though he felt like he got all of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Unless he legit thought he did.
It's true. Whose fault would you say that was?
I don't know yet.
To be fair, when you're coming like that, you've got Tama Tonga's got his back to Carl Anderson.
Yeah.
So would you say? I'm not blaming anyone. I'm just saying, who would you just say is just a case of mistiming from both of them?
I think it's just a case of mistiming from both of them.
Yeah.
Because like you said, how it was set up, he's not really. How's he gonna know, sort of thing.
Yeah, and that was on his fire up spot as well. That's what is unfortunate about it.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
okay.
Great match.
So,
Paul Anderson.
Yeah, Lij. So it's Naito, Sanada, and Bushi versus Kenji Muto.
Yep.
AKA Muto.
Yep.
But he's not that one in this.
Nope.
Hiroshi Tanahashi and Shota Umino.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, Tanahashi getting. All right, fair enough. You've got a multi-man match. He usually has a singles match, but hey, okay, fine.
That's what confused me about it. It's like, really? Tanahashi's got thrown into this? Wow.
Yeah. But it's kind of a notable match because it's Great Muta's last match as well. Yeah, went bad either. Good from what's it called? Shota.
Yeah, you mean
F-Rider,
Tanahashi Jr., you mean?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So he's got some of Moxley's. He's absorbed some of John Moxley's moves.
Yeah.
As Tanahashi.
Yeah, basically.
But it's good that he got the pin. And basically, Great Muta gave the guy a shining wizard, this Bushi.
Yeah.
And then Shota gave him the Death Rider, and Muta's like, "Yep, you get the pin, boy."
You know what? I didn't like that.
That Shota got the pin, or that Muta let him get the pin.
The match was good and thing, but I don't like. Okay, this is really bad. I might contradict myself later on, and not this episode, but in life with this. It's Kenji Muta's last match, right?
Yeah.
Normally, even like when Liger went out, he lost. He took the pin.
Yeah.
Why in?
But this was more a showcase for Shota.
Yeah, but then
it makes sense for him to get the pin.
It makes sense for him, but if it's a showcase, why are you having him in a 6-man tag match?
Yeah, it's true, but this leads to something later on in the pay-per-view. I think when the junior heavyweight match happens, they're talking about in the back room. There's a scuffle, right?
Yeah.
And Naito's shoving Shota.
Is he?
Well, that's what they say.
No, no. That's to do with a beef between Lij and some wrestlers from Noah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I was sorry. Okay. Maybe I misheard.
Yeah.
In that case. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right. Fair enough. Oh,
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Okay. I may assume that because of this, and then I was like, oh yeah, the logic. But then you're telling me it's not, and I'm like, all right. So that's a good point.
Yeah. Like,
No, but if it was a solo match for Great Muta, I assume he would have lost because he lost to
Nakamura.
Nakamura
Yeah.
and the Noah pay-per-view. Calling Nakamura certain names afterwards, you know.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
He's going out the villain. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he went out of face here, but yeah. I just guess it's international translation, not necessarily issues, but how people how offensive certain words are from there to there.
Yeah.
It's
funny.
Because maybe he's old, right? So he's come like in his mindset it's like the era of mid-90s and stuff that you can see that stuff.
Where that stuff was, even though it's bad to say, but you said it willy-nilly back then. Yeah. But this match to me would have made more sense if Keiji Muta took the pin from Sanada.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
I was gonna say definitely not from Bushi, right?
No.
And Naito doesn't really need it, but
No.
Sanada, yeah. Didn't he train Sanada?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And that was one of their stories when Sanada was in Impact /TNA.
Yeah.
That was one of the Sanada's stories that that Muta brought him there and he's his apprentice, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So you have something there and you keep playing with Sanada where they're going to do something big with him, then we don't. We're going to do something big with him, then we don't.
Yeah. Now you present the logic to me. I'm like, yeah, you know what? It would have made it much more sense.
Yep.
Because then it'd been like, oh yeah, I pinned the guy, and then they don't have to heal him at the end. They'd be like, I'm just gonna handshake and hug my apprentice there. He leveled up.
Yeah.
And we raise hands, stuff like that.
Yeah, but
no. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Bushi getting the pin doesn't really help. Not necessarily that it doesn't help Shota, but it just kind of like, but Bushi's at a certain level as well.
Yeah.
If you pinned Sanada or you pinned Naito, then you could get to few of them and bring Shota up, right?
Yep.
But
pinning Bushi, who is a junior heavyweight and is the guy who takes pins for Lij, what's it really doing for you? Nothing.
Yeah, and it's not the fact that he's a junior heavyweight. It's just that he's the guy that, when in their roster, he just happens to be the guy that has to do it because he's lower ranked than everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Bushi.
Right.
I like Bushi as well. That's what I'm about.
Okay, junior heavyweight junior heavyweight title match. Master Wato.
Master Wato.
Yeah, Wato, that's it. No, I pronounced it all wrong. Hiromu Takahashi, El Desperado, and Tajiri, the Bone Soldier, right?
Yep. The best.
Ishimori, who's the champion. I enjoyed this match as well. I think this was more of a let's show the world what Master Wato can do with his crucifix driver-ish thing.
Yeah, crucifix like Uenagi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was just spamming it at the end. I was like,
Yeah,
all right, but I was
okay.
like, don't get the pin. Not because it's just like of all the guys here, right? He's the one that his gimmick is. He looks a lower tier than everyone else.
He looks like his gimmick is to me is cosplay dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, blue head cosplay dude, right?
Yeah.
And whereas everyone else looked like, I mean, Takahashi especially and Ishimori, they look like,
Yeah.
Oh, well, Ishimori looks like he's out of Mortal Kombat, right?
Yeah.
And Hiromu, he's flamboyant,
And you got El Desperado, who just is awesome altogether. Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, okay, we're gonna not necessarily set this much around Master Wato, but it's just like, yeah, we'll get him, we'll get him to get close pins and stuff like that, right? And make it look like, oh yeah, he raised his level or something like that. But he's just like, he needs something more to him because everyone else is there is more awesome than he is, and he's not a certain level of awesome. He's just not awesome either.
No. So it's kind of obvious he took the pin, didn't he?
Yeah.
It's kind of obvious that he was going to take the pin.
Yeah. But he looked like he was going to pin Hiromu, and I was like, oof, I don't know. But I mean, yes, it probably would have helped him, but I don't know if Hiromu's taking a pin from him.
Yeah. Especially like Wrestle Kingdom. No.
Yeah. I mean, towards like the end, coming up to the last final minutes of the match, it was like Master Waiter, and I was like, oof.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then, like I said, it was like him and Hiromu at the end, and Hiromu just caught him with the time bomb too.
Yeah. Which I was like, okay, I'm kind of happy that Ishimori didn't take the pin because actually it would have. Actually, nah. I think the match would have made more sense if Ishimori did take the pin, but
I think they unless they're angling going to be Hiromu and Ishimori for a rematch, because then he could claim I didn't get the pin. So.
Yeah. But due to stuff that happens at New Year's Dash, if I remember correctly, it makes it's. I'll say later. It's weird.
Yeah. So I mean, maybe, and you'll probably agree with me on this. Ishimori and Hiromu, they could be. They are more at this point. You could shift them to the never openweight title.
Yeah.
And it make a bit more sense. Not necessarily a bit more sense, but they can float up and down that area.
Yeah.
Because I would say, even for the United States contention, they could go there as well.
Yeah,
but
they could.
I think not necessarily they don't need to be in the junior heavyweight division anymore.
No, they don't. They're both outgrown it, in my opinion. Even El Desperado, he's outgrown it, in my opinion, as well.
Yeah, and not to say obviously that there's. I think junior heavyweight is cool, right? Yeah. Good cruiserweight, whatever, right? I mean, and they pay more respect to it in Japan than they do in the US, right?
Yeah.
And this is X Division, of course. Even then, though, where they've been just kind of whittling down the X Division's credibility.
Yeah,
anyway,
X Division is what it is at this point. Yeah.
Yeah. But like Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi, they could go to fight the heavyweights for the openweight title and even throw some of them in the G1. But yeah, I mean, especially Hiromu and Ishimori, because you could get them to that level.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, but
because I think they presented, like you say, they've outgrown it, but you don't mean like it's beneath them. It's just more like their star power.
Yeah,
to me and you, can take them a bit further than where they're being allowed.
If they stay in this division, they're going to turn into Kushida. Like me personally, Kushida shouldn't be like an 11-time IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah,
he should have been like other champions as well because he's that good. But they just stuck him in that hole, and he's just known as Junior Heavyweight.
You should definitely. Like saying, Kushida should have definitely won the never openweight title,
never openweight, Intercontinental title when it was I mean, he could have won all of those, but just junior heavyweight. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So moving on to the real main event, as far as I was concerned. Right?
Yeah.
The IWGP United States Championship: Kenny Omega versus the champion Will Ospreay. Kenny Omega being awesome, coming out to Sephiroth's one-winged angel. Yeah.
I cried.
I thought for some reason when they started the thing, I thought it was going to go from that into Devil's Sky.
Yeah,
but
same.
no, they're just playing it. And what was awesome is when they had the Titantron there and the swirling black mass, and then Kenny shot his left arm out just as the one wing came out as well, and I was like, the timing awesome. Here. Yeah. Dressed like Sephiroth as well.
Yep.
Get his silver hair extensions like Sephiroth.
Yep. I was like, because I watched the press conference before this, the day before, with him and Ospreay and all that, and he had like longer hair. I was like, why has he got long hair? This is weird. Why would you get the extensions for? Then seeing the entrance, like that makes sense now. Okay. Yep. Good on you, Kenny. You're the best.
It was final boss music entrance for definite.
Yeah.
It's a bit weird when like he's doing his standard mannerisms to this sort of music.
Yeah.
Maybe he could have just pasted in the ring as well. Like, I mean, I'm not saying change it up, but it's like instrumental music. But this guy's like, yeah, being a bit not necessarily over the top, but just like cutting his throat and staring at the screen, and I was like, okay.
Back. Yeah.
And then Osprey came to his original thing. His.
Yeah.
I want to say it's. When I say it's original, what I mean is
it's his most notable one.
Yeah. Which got taken away for rights, right? But,
yeah.
And then, but it looked awesome. It came out. The green lights. The thing is, when the music started, and then you had his cohorts from the United Empire there, standing in their waistcoats, right, in their suits, while he jumped. He's in the center, and the way they had their hands like towards their middle, right?
Yeah.
They look like the way it was playing the music. If you changed out the lyrics, right?
Yeah.
The English words to Japanese words.
Yeah.
It is a proper J-pop anime opening song.
Yeah,
right?
it is, isn't it? Well, you need like this fast camera cuts around them and all that stuff. Yeah.
And the way they look like a Japanese boy band about to start dancing.
Yep.
But it looked big. It looked grand.
Yeah, it did,
I know as much as we're making fun of it, it's just like no, it looked really good actually.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Like
I should get Japanese lyrics to that, and you could play it at the beginning of some anime.
Yeah, and it will work.
Yeah. This match is really good. This match, I thought it was going to be maybe a mix of high flying and wrestling it up. No, but this was a fight. This was actually like they were just trying to prove who was the better man, and we're just going to smack each other to bits, and we're going to build to the finish.
I liked it.
Yeah, there was some key stuff that because they're so pros. Certain things you're like, all right. There was a bit where there was a table outside.
Yeah.
After Kenny slumped on it, right, and then Will Ospreay suplexed him on it, and it was or DDT, whatever on him.
Suplexed him. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I say DDT. I only say DDT because the top of his head. See, so if the table was facing up, where the flat area was, it'd have been fine, right?
Yeah.
But because he basically landed on the legs.
Yeah. With
his head. That looked more horrible than it needed to be.
Yeah.
But it was a cool bit because then Ospreay went to do the corkscrew moonsault, right?
Yeah.
And Kenny stumbled around before that.
Yeah.
And he kicked the table away from the landing area, and I was like, that's actually really good because he looked like he just kind of stumbled in. He's getting up, he doesn't know where he's kind of groggy, but he's like, no, let's make a safe landing.
Yeah.
And then later on, when after Ospreay, they set up the turnbuckle thing, where Kenny Omega took it off, the padding, and then they played it off with the DDT, onto the turnbuckle, which then all of Will Ospreay's United Empire came to cover him so he could blade.
Yeah, obvious. Oh wow.
Yeah, but it was good because it added to it. Was like, oh yeah, you know what? It was the drama there.
Yeah. And
then Will Ospreay took a battering for ages.
Yep.
And when he was starting to make his comeback, he slipped on the rope.
Yeah.
But the way he sold it was like he stumbled on the rope. He was trying to get him onto a top rope hurricane or something. Yeah. He stumbled on the rope, Then he took a couple of steps down, smacked Kenny around a bit while Kenny's still straddling the top rope. And then he kind of smacked himself across the face to wake him up. And then when he went to climb the rope, he was climbing groggy as well. And I was like, oh, man. He's making the most of it. He slipped up, and then he's making it look like he didn't know where he is or what he's doing. You know, so very good selling
stuff.
there. Yeah. And also as well a bit earlier where they stumbled at the hip toss, right? But what it looked like is like, all right, I'm gonna try and stop it.
Yeah.
And then they kind of stopped. They kind of worked themselves back into the abdominal stretch position, and then went to the hip toss. I was like, all right, I don't think they meant to go down, right? I think we just lock him in a hip toss, but they did look like they were just trying to fight off. The opponent was trying to fight them off. So it's like, oh yeah, recovered very well actually.
Yeah.
Just getting blasted with V triggers.
Yeah, he spammed the V triggers. Yeah.
And hidden blades towards the end of it, and I was like, wow. And I thought when when Ospreay got the hit with the one wing angel, I actually thought he was going to kick out. Maybe I was like, surely he's not going to lose because Kenny Omega's actually working AEW.
Yeah.
So how I have to say in this match, I assumed that Ospreay was going to win about 70% and maybe 30% Kenny Omega coming back.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a lock. Yeah. So when he hit the one wing angel, I was like, is he going to kick out of it? And then he didn't. I was like, oh, okay. Right, fair enough. But it was a great match because there was some dangerous looking stuff here, right? Yeah. Like the quotes rough off the top there. I was like, I don't know. I remember what happened to Okada. I don't know about this. Right?
No, but with Okada, it was the dragon.
Dragon suplex,
which was even worse, if I'm honest. But yeah,
yeah,
because he tried that on Ospreay, and Ospreay flipped out of it.
Yeah.
But I knew. Soon as Ospreay spat in Kenny's face, like, he's losing.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, because that last bit of defiance in it, like, he's losing. So he got.
But I don't think anyone okay, you lost the match, but both of you look really good.
Yeah, exactly.
So in fact, no one lost. I mean, there was a loser and there was a winner in the match, but no one lost anything because of it.
No.
You think there's going to be a rematch or what?
Yeah, of course.
What do you think the play is?
There'll be a rematch where Ospreay will win.
Yeah.
And then have one final match where Ospreay wins again, and then Kenny kind of like passes him the torch sort of thing.
Yeah. You reckon Ospreay's going to win back that US title soon, or
in a couple of months? I reckon.
Yeah. Forbidden Door 2. Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure he'll get his win back, of course, right?
Yeah.
And we don't even need a tiebreaker, really, right?
No.
But what I think is more helpful is to elevate Will Ospreay in New Japan.
Yeah.
At this moment, did you see the? I know you said you saw the press conference before, but did you see the one afterwards?
Yeah.
Yeah, where Kenny's got kind of like a sword and eye.
Yeah. With his one good eye. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, you know what? I mean, that helps with like Will Ospreay. You battered the guy, right?
Yeah.
And he just was better than you.
Yeah.
Because he DDT'd onto the steps and he was bleeding like a stuck pig, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it just happened to be better than you that day. That's how he comes across.
Yeah.
Like what Kenny Omega's saying. He's like, most of the time you probably would have been better than me. Yeah. Today I was better than you
because I'm the wrestling god.
Yeah. Yeah, very good match. I probably rewatch this match.
I'll watch it again. I watched it twice already.
Yeah. Would you watch with the Japanese commentary?
No, I can't. No.
I think I'll rewatch it with the Japanese commentary at some point.
Like for me, but like it's gonna sound really bad. I'm not that much of a Will Ospreay fan, if I'm perfectly honest. Like,
okay.
To me, in the last like 7 years of watching him, whatever, all his matches literally have been the same to me.
Okay.
And it's only like this match, and maybe I wouldn't say his match with Okada last year. That seemed like the same to me. But like only this match, because to me there's more character-driven stuff in it.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed it more.
Yeah.
So like okay, because I find Ospreay's promos and stuff annoying.
Not annoying because he's coming off as a deliberately annoying character.
No.
Okay.
Just like in wrestling promos, all right.
Mm-hmm.
I get you try to be yourself, but he's too himself. It doesn't seem like a promo. It just seems like he's talking to like a mate, which kind of doesn't come off to me.
You reckon he plays up the
Essex lads kind of thing?
Yeah. A bit too much than necessary. Yep.
Yeah, and like in a place like New Japan where English is not everyone's first language.
Yeah.
It sounds to me stupid.
Okay. All right.
Okay, because like you got Jay White, whose promos in New Japan are amazing.
Yeah. Because
they make sense. Ospreay's don't, because he's always like either swearing or using the word "bruvs" way too much.
If you take into account, and you say his character's like a drunken lout that likes to fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. then it'd probably work better.
But
in that sense.
Yeah, I get that, but that's his character, like how he's the Commonwealth Kingpin and stuff like that. it doesn't bring off elegancy, does it?
Oh, okay, it's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, oh, okay, you just sound like some guy I've seen in a pub down Essex, you know, just, and it's not appealing to me. That's me personally. It's not appealing.
Yeah.
It's like I have the same sort of problem with Juice Robinson. His promos are the same to me. He just swears all the time. Like, this doesn't come across.
Tama Tonga, mate.
Yeah, and Tama Tonga, yeah.
No, but I'd say Will Ospreay's promo after this match was quite well done.
Yeah,
like because it was like, you know what, I've sacrificed a lot and everything like that, and it's everything like, you know, there's a final title taken away from me after all this time and stuff like that. So she's like, one more time, one more year, let's see how it goes. And
like even that, I liked it until we just literally like swearing all the time, like the swearing parts in it. Like, I'm not against swearing or anything, but it needs to be earned in a promo. But if you're dropping it every other sentence, like why? Yeah.
But you're looking forward to the rematch?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the rematch.
Yeah. Right. Let's see where it goes from there and how that title's presented in AEW.
But also, as well, the United Empire, their whole like thing is their heels, right? This seems like they're trying to do a face turn for Ospreay. So they're going to try and face turn all the United Empire?
I think just for this match, well, not necessarily that it's like his heel, right? But it's just like, look, it's not about heels and faces in this match. It's like, who's the better man? And that's different.
Yeah.
And they respect him for the fight that he put up. Yeah. They might not respect him for his character and integrity. But he went out there to fight by himself as well, without having any shenanigans, as against a guy who's already earned a reputation there.
Yeah.
You know? And he brought it.
Yeah.
As far as the story of the match goes, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't think necessarily it might be a heel turn, but it might just be one of, like, within the match, it makes sense to do this and present everyone as equals, and it's not about favorites.
Yeah, no, I get that. But, like, everything off, even like that promo he just did afterwards, that's kind of like a facey promo.
Oh, yeah, because it's like, you know, it's getting a bit too much for me. I need this more than ever, you know, stuff like that. Otherwise, I can't be second best. I have to be number one.
Yeah,
but not in an arrogant way. It's just like, this is what this is all it means to me. Yeah, you know,
and that's kind of a facey thing to say.
It's true. It's true.
Because like when you opposite, say like for example, Jay White, his promo with something like Lost with this would be the arrogant way. Yeah. Well,
Jay White's great.
Yeah, he's the best.
Right. So
speaking of Jay White.
Okay, so moving on to our boy Jay White.
Yep.
IWG World Heavyweight Championship, Kazuchika Okada versus Jay White.
Yep.
And I have to say, going into this, because of Antonio Inoki's memorial show and stuff like that, and it's just like, I'm pretty 90% sure Okada's going to win. Maybe 10% Jay White's only win, only because he's done it before.
Yeah.
And he could eke it out just to tip the tails of the show, you know?
Yeah.
And then he set Okada back into having a breakdown, become the Blue Maker again.
Yeah, man, that's the best. Yeah.
But no. So this was a really good match.
It's a really good match, it is.
Just because the match before it was so good. I mean, I prefer the Omega versus Will Ospreay match, right?
Yeah,
but
same.
that doesn't make that. But as a follow-up match, this is still really good.
Yeah,
and you still know how good it is.
Yeah.
Okada hitting Jay White hitting a J Maker.
Yeah,
or was it a Blade Maker? What do they call it?
I don't. What's his name? Gino Gambino called it the J Maker.
Yeah.
And then I think the English dude, I forgot his name, on commentary, I'm pretty sure he said the Blade Maker.
Yeah. That makes more sense. But then when Okada hit the Blade Runner and they called it the Rain Runner, I was like, oh yeah, all right.
So you did that. Okay. That's good. Yeah.
yeah, because you could have called it the Blade Maker. That kind of again, you couldn't have used the same title twice, you know.
No. That's awesome. Yeah.
I did like it how, you know, Jay White's like turning. He knows at this point, if the Rainmaker's coming, I'll try to turn into a Blade Runner and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah.
But Jay White's character work is what helped this
best,
match
man.
as well.
Yep.
Because like our boy is just chatting to the camera at times, just chatting to his opponent, just being sneaky and slimy and all this stuff, right? And I can't hate him for it because I admire him for it. I'm like, dude, you're 100% all in as Jay White, yeah.
Yeah, man.
And there's no break. Not like the MJF where you have to be all kayfabe all the time, right?
Yeah.
But in the ring, I mean, you're really cool guy outside of the ring, yeah. But when you're in the ring, you know, you're just like, I get you to hate me, right?
Yeah, the whole clapping, making them shit. Oh, Okada. Yeah, man.
Yeah, exactly. And then, but I can't hate you because you're so entertaining. That's the thing. It's like,
that's the thing.
Yeah. Yeah, at the beginning, like you're saying, he's getting the crowd to clap with the Okada. He goes, "You're a bunch of idiots."
Yeah.
Like Jay White.
He's the best, man. He really is.
I have to say, his ring gear, like, so Okada's ring gear is just the black trunks, biker shorts. And I'm like, oh, but Okada should have had something, a bit of splash of color on it or something like that, because it just kind of looks a bit. You don't look like the megastar that you are next to Jay White, who's, you know, got the slash marks on his stuff and everything. Like, he just looks better, well presented. Yeah.
Oh, but it's because the black trunks are a homage to Inoki.
That's the thing. I think maybe I mean, I get why it's like that, right? Yeah. But next to Jay White's stuff, it just didn't look as
Yeah, but I kind of got it. It was like the contrast. One's wearing black, one's wearing white, and normally it's like reversed. He'll wear the black or whatever. Yeah. Face wears the white. So I thought, that's pretty cool. I enjoyed that.
Yeah. But this was a really good match as well. In fact, I'd say this whole most of this pay-per-view is good, but it's the last two matches that are the major draws.
Yeah.
And as much as did you want Jay White to win?
Yes, of course.
Because Okada is the final boss of pro wrestling. Right?
Yeah, they even said that, didn't they? But yeah. Well, they say Jay White was one or two, but that was mentioned.
I think Okada needs to be out of the title picture for a little bit because he just kind of not like obviously his matches are good and everything there, but I think he's suffocating a bit much by being there all the time to defeat the final boss. You know, at the second bosses and stuff like that. You know,
like I will say this, and you may agree with me. This year's Wrestle Kingdom, like most Wrestle Kingdoms, in my opinion, are always a reset to the status quo.
Yeah.
Because like I'm pretty sure last year didn't Goto and Yoshihashi win the tag titles, right?
I can't remember.
I think
that last year had 2 days and it was like 10 hours of wrestling.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure that happened. And I'm pretty sure last year Hiromu Takahashi won the junior heavyweight title.
Yeah.
And last year Okada won the world title again. So we just reset back to what we know. That's
I mean, not that like because he's like okay. So ever since he came back, Okada, he's always been in that title area.
Yeah.
Except for where his red Okada balloon maker fees.
Yeah, the greatest. Yeah.
But that's it's not like in American wrestling you can have a feud of something else without going to the title, right?
Yeah.
But they need to give him something else to do. Yep. I think personally, like even if it's like a tag with, I think at some point they looked like they were going to tag him with Tanahashi, and they were going to go for a tag title. That didn't happen.
No.
But and I know he's like, oh yeah, the World Heavyweight title is my life, and that's all it is. But it's just you take a couple of steps back, so then there's other people that you can elevate,
back, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, and then maybe you can beat them or whatever. But it's just like, at this point, you not necessarily he wins too much, right?
Yeah.
But he does kind of win
too much. Yeah.
But it's not like, not that he wins that needs to be protected and stuff like that.
No.
But it's just like, when it's a Okada match, it just seems like, okay, well, like Scott Steiner said, right? 50-50% chance of winning.
Yep.
Except if you're Okada, you got that 75,
you got that 75%. Yeah. Maths. Yeah.
Right.
He
But
needs to
yeah, no,
win.
I would have preferred Jay White win only because he could add something more, to
Yeah,
it.
same.
And
same.
it's not necessarily predictable, but he's the guy who gets the upset wins as well. So which is like, oh yeah, maybe he has a chance.
And the worst thing is, there's already a story there that like Jay White has only lost once to Okada, so you could just added the fifth win.
Yeah.
What difference does it make? Well,
Yeah, and you have Okada beat him at some point,
yeah.
right? But I do like how Jay White is just like when he gets defeated for the, like even last year when Kota Ibushi beat him for the title,
Yeah.
and he's just like, no, get that title, give me that title,
Yeah.
don't take it away from me.
Yeah, I love that. That's why Jay White's the best. But
Yeah,
it's just what was he doing last year at Wrestle Kingdom?
Who, Jay White?
Yeah.
He was fighting Kota Ibushi for the title.
Oh.
Yeah, you remember that like 45-minute to an hour match?
Oh, wasn't that? No, I'm pretty sure. Wait, let me check.
Was that the last?
I
Was
think
that the year before?
Because this year, last year, sorry, it was the first night, Okada versus Shingo.
Oh
and then
yeah.
the second night, Ospreay versus Okada, which made no sense to me. It should have been the other way around. But okay, sure.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah. No, you're right. I'm just yeah. What was Jay White doing?
I'm trying to check now. I can't see his name. What the hell? I'm pretty sure he was at Wrestle Kingdom last year.
Maybe he took a break. I don't know.
You may be right.
Maybe it was his downward spiral phase where he was trying to be a free agent, but not kind of right.
Yeah, you might be right with that.
Yeah. But yeah, no. Yeah, definitely the last two matches to watch. Yeah, good stuff. Some good stuff going on there.
Yeah.
And they were actually quite different from each other as well. Other than let's see who the better man is in the matches. Where I think in the US title match they were basically like, okay, here we are, and we're gonna fight, and it's not about face or heel, right? Here, and in the world title match, it's just like, yep, no, he's the face and I'm the heel.
Yeah,
we're playing like that.
And that's what it was.
Yeah.
Wow, he really wasn't on Wrestle Kingdom last year.
Yeah.
That is weird to me. Sorry.
Yeah. Did you watch New Year's Dash?
No, but I've seen I know the results and stuff.
Yeah. So I think. Were you surprised when Okada and Kenny Omega teamed up?
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's cool. Different, but that's cool. Oh.
Yeah, I remember it probably kind of did make sense-ish because they're both good guys-ish. Kind of the respected.
Yeah. I believe.
Oh no, but Kenny Omega's made his appearance there. You don't know if he's going to be a good guy or not, and he kind of is.
Yeah, I guess he's default good guy.
Yeah. So that was a surprise one. I was like, huh, okay, if you say so.
Yeah.
But then when you look at the team of the United Empire here, Jeff Cobb and Aaron Hare, Hone, whatever.
Yeah, Aaron Hone.
You know who's taking a pin.
Yeah, of course.
And you know which team is losing.
Yeah. Jeff Cobb didn't take no pin.
But yeah. Do you think Cobb's getting that US title match? Do you think that's going to be on a set up at AEW?
Could be.
Yeah.
Or it might be at that event they got in February where Sasha's debuting. Battle in the Valley, I think it's called.
Yeah,
it could be there.
Yeah. Oh, true. That's in the US, right?
Yeah.
How do you think? Okay, the two match. How do you think Sasha's match is going to go?
I don't think she's going to win, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. I doubt she'll win.
Okay. Do you reckon? Yeah, but you reckon she's just going to be on for that pay-per-view and that'd be that?
No, I think that pay-per-view, maybe something in between that. I mean, after that.
Yeah.
And then, she's back to...
What I'm saying is she's clearly taking tips from Asuka's dress sense because she's got a thong on top of her shorts.
I was like, okay. That's
Like, if you say so.
Yeah. Like, sure, man. If that's what you want.
Yeah. So enjoyable card.
Yeah, enjoyable card.
But I think runaway high ranked matches are the last two matches. Yeah, that are the most memorable because it kind of blew everything else out of the water. Though they are like the television title match, I'd say is definitely worth a watch. And Never Openweight title is I mean, you can watch the highlights of it.
No, I say watch it just for the hilarities of Carl Anderson.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's actually pretty good until the end, right?
Yeah. That's the only thing that lets it down. The end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the light heavyweight title match where you're like, let's try and knock Master Waito up a couple of levels, you know?
Yeah. But like, speaking of the light heavyweight, the junior heavyweight division, like I was saying earlier, which makes no sense. So you did all this, and then on New Year's Dash, Hiromu, who just won the title, gets pinned by Yo in a 8-man tag match, and then challenges for the junior heavyweight title.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes no sense.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, unless they're going to say, of course, that is where they're building for the title, you know.
Yeah.
Title match. That's their new story. So yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's what it's going to be.
Yeah, of course, it is what it is. Can't change that.
But overall, pretty decent event. Pretty good event. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty good event. Yeah.
Do you prefer it being one? What's it called? One night rather than two?
I do now, because at first I was it should be 2 nights, and then I was reminded that the last 2 nights of the last couple of years when they had the 2 nights of Wrestle Kingdom, one of the nights is literally multi-man tag matches with people who are going to be in a match together the next night.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? Go back to one night.
Yeah, I kind of prefer one night because it's not as much to watch.
Yeah.
But the other end of that equation is some of the matches are. I think none of these matches went over 40 minutes, and I think the Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega match could have went longer.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
that could have been a bit.
No, yes, yeah, well, yeah, okay, fair enough. I think some of the other matches could have went a bit longer though.
Yeah, of course, like the women's
because they seemed a bit short, especially the Stardom women's.
Yeah, that could have been.
But I would have, if they had 2 nights, they would have padded out more time for the never weight title match, and never open weight title match. That probably would have got more time.
Yeah.
But I'd say definitely there's a good enough, decent amount of matches to watch here, for especially the price that you pay for New Japan World.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But they should stick with one night, because they should stick with one night. And me personally, I think WrestleMania should stick to 2 nights, because they got more people, they get more show, they get more.
Oh yeah, you mean they got more of a bloated roster. Let me put it that way.
Yeah.
And when you say more people, you mean like they've got a certain amount of people that actually are interested in pushing, and a certain amount of people they have there that they want other companies to have, it seems, so they just keep them there.
Yeah.
Give them something to do, give them a good payday, you know?
Yeah. Which it kind of justifies them having 2 nights, yeah. But New Japan, no, they don't need to do 2 nights anymore.
Yeah, I mean, even though they had 2 nights for some of the other times, and the matches went longer.
Yeah.
Some of them you didn't need to necessarily. Some of them they do. I think some of these matches when they run long, you can't. You're like, oh, it's better it runs long. Like, you know, when Kenny and Okada had their 40-minute plus match at Wrestle Kingdom, and when Jay White and Kota Ibushi went almost an hour.
Yeah, 48 minutes. Yeah.
Exactly. So, but then that's when you've got the amount of time to spend on it, to give the people to do that in ring work. Fair enough. I mean, I think they maybe now is maybe we don't need to have these super epically long matches, but then at the same time, it's how do you blow up the card without making things look a bit?
Yeah. Because I'm looking at last year's one. The longest matches, the longest match on day 1 was 35 minutes, and on day 2 was 32 minutes. As both the main events.
Yeah.
But then, literally, both days have the same people on both the cards. So it's
yeah. Well, that's. I think that's one of the other benefits of having only one night, because some of these guys working twice as hard.
Yeah.
And you've been battered from the day before.
Yeah.
So if, for example, if Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay had this match,
Yeah.
and then the next night they're supposed to do something, they'd have to be in a multi-man match because they can't. You actually continue after this match.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Yeah.
You're proper beat up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
But no. Overall, very worth the price that you pay on New Japan World from it. And actually, even for the money, you still get the rest of the month, which it's still got like a new beginning in the what city are they in?
Koto?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But look, you got a whole bunch of other things as well. So it's like, you know what? Yeah. Not just. I mean, if I was just paying for this pay per this pay per view, I'd have been happy paying it what it was.
Yeah, exactly.
New Japan World, but because I'm getting everything else in there, it just like seems a super bargain. Yeah.
Big time. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah. I mean, would you rewatch it all? I don't know if I'd rewatch it all because it's 6 hours long.
Let me just quickly check the card so I can remind myself. I would. I would probably watch half of it again.
Yeah. And you're making me watch Rambo again. Again for the first time. So that's fair
Rambo,
enough,
man. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I was annoyed though that El Phantasmo was like in the Rumble. I was like, really? Last year he was in a main card match. That's sad. Yeah.
All right. So if you had, so which matches like on this card, if you were to rewatch matches again, would you or would you if you were reorganizing it yourself, right? I'd probably give the IWGP women's title match a bit more time.
Yep, definitely would. Even for another 5 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. Cut the tag title match. Unfortunately, keep the TV title match. Keep the never openweight match.
Yeah.
And even keep the botch ending, right?
Yeah, keep the botch ending, man. Yeah.
I could skip Great Muta's last match, but you kind of unless you make it like you say more logical and put Sonata to win there.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. That could be a pre-show one.
Yep.
The junior heavyweight title match I'd keep.
Yeah, I'll keep that. Yeah. It was fun.
And there's the last two matches, of course.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But yeah, so most of these things are most of the stuff here I'd watch again as well. Actually.
Yeah, it's just like the tag team match, the heavyweight tag team match could have been better, in my opinion. Because FTR's in it, so you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't think I'll watch it again though.
With the tag title match?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I could have skipped that.
Probably
could skip the junior heavyweight title match as well. The junior heavyweight tag team title match. Sorry.
Yeah. That's only because of. I still think, even though I'm not really that much of a fan of Leo Rush, but if that injury didn't happen, it could have been it might have been a better match. You never know. Yeah. Cool.
All right, that'll be us for this episode.
Yes.
Signing off, right?
Yes. After watching Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah. So I'm the man who got DDT'd onto an exposed turnbuckle, CY Chung, bleeding like a suck pig, as they say.
Oh yeah, suckled pig. And I am the wrestler who's probably in his 40s, but I still think I'm Goku from Dragon Ball Z, Kyle Charles. And thank you all for listening to us review and discuss New Japan Pro Wrestling's Wrestle Kingdom 17. Did you watch Wrestle Kingdom 17? What was your favorite match? And do you reckon that... Oh, that's another theory. It's another theory of mine, which I reckon would happen, but it didn't. If AJ didn't break his ankle, I reckon he may have actually came with Carl Anderson.
And then when Will Ospreay did the Styles Clash, in that match, in his match, it would have made more sense.
Yep. Yeah, which would have been awesome. So and what was your favorite match? Do you believe and agree with the Wrestling Observer that the Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay match is a 6.25 star match?
It's a 7-star match. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Actually, I don't know if it is.
No. What I'm saying, people like, here's the thing. People like what they like. Yeah. But that match definitely had the drama that you're like, wow.
Yeah. Like, it's up there with the Kenny Okada trilogy, in my opinion. Yeah. Is it better than it? I don't know. I got to rewatch them, but yeah, if it's coming to just because this one's the most recent one in my mind. Yeah, this is pretty better than them, but we'll see. So yeah, do you think that Jay White should have kept the title and not reset New Japan to status quo? No, you can do that. Bye. Drop us a message on Instagram or on Twitter or even an email and we'll reply back. And don't forget to follow us on YouTube and give us a nice review on any podcast or app that you're listening to us on. And once again, I would like to thank you all for taking a trip with us around the multiverse. Bye. Also, I just want to say IWGP Intercontinental Champion. That's how they say it. And take care, everyone. Bye.
Look, after all the talk, all the past matches, it is now coming down to this. One more time, and this will be the last time that man will fight for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. And Okada, when that bell rings, I know that I'm going to be inside your head. When that bell rings, I'm going to be all over you. I'm not going to let you breathe because I'm going to drown you in your own rain. And when it's all done, at the end of it, there will be no question as to who the best is. You go. And look, I say this every time. You can fool them sitting here. You can fool the people watching, the fans. You can fool them. I say it every time, but you can't fool me. You can fool them into thinking that you're cool, calm, collected Okada. But I know you. I know you better than anybody. I know the real Okada. I know that you are rattled. I know that you are scared, Okada. You are scared because your legacy is about to go down the toilet like poo-poo when I beat you and make it 5-1. Down the toilet like poo-poo. Make sure you get that. You are scared because I'm about to expose you for the fraud that you are, as I have said that I will always do. And you are scared because I'm about to show the entire world in the Tokyo Dome on the biggest stage of them all. At Wrestle Kingdom, I'm going to show the world the real Okada. And that scares you because you are a coward. You are Okada the coward. And I, Switchblade Jay White, will save New Japan Pro Wrestling and the entire industry from you.